Hello everyone, I'm Princess Zita 87 and this is Let's Play Trails Beyond the Horizon part 92. In the previous video we did a lot of combat, resulted in me getting a little tilted at the end because we did like way too long of the fight with the dog, wolf, cat, fox thing, and it really annoyed me because I feel like the fight was one step away from being really good, but instead it was just kind of like designed to be really annoying arbitrarily. And then we fought the monster down there and Swin would never dodge despite having 60% evasion, and it pissed me off. Now we're gonna do the main story again.
Come out wherever you are.
Would have healed me, would have saved me. And also I guess I'd forgotten to heal, which was a little annoying as well, but I will. Let's run by the Haman real quick. Come on!
Are you entering?
Yeah, that restored my soul a little bit.
How very novel.
I'm burning up in here. Can we go?
Nadia just don't like anything, man. I guess that's why she's me for real.
Perhaps I'll make this a habit.
I'm glad you seem to enjoy yourself.
Why do you sound so passive aggressive, man? I'm glad you seem to enjoy yourself. Like what? Was I given the fucking proper reverential? It wasn't a spiritual experience to me? I was just like, oh, I'm kind of hot.
Culture is so
What else is new? Am I right? How about a shard search?
Come out wherever you are. Come out wherever you are.
Come on.
How about a shard search?
How about a shard search? We'll get everything we need at the moment. I agree. I mean, after all the stuff we heard from Jack and Hale, we should be good to go, right? Alright, we'll hit it once everyone's ready. Okie dokie. So they're up there. Those lively young ladies are quite beautiful. Okay. Nobody asked. Again, check on this too, but it looks like I was worried for nothing. Anton is so reliable. I can rest easy knowing she's here to look after Tony. Watching the makes me miss playing around in the pool as a child. Wish I bought a swimsuit. I probably got ones you could rent for 20,000 Mira. The hotel is quite something, not that we're staying here. You can tell the service is top tier. The fact they let us use the pool like this is evidence enough. Well, it's no surprise the tavern can't compare. Still was a nice little treat.
Can we go yet?
John, let's go that way. Not with your shoes on, Tony. And besides, your clothes will get wet. You can have plenty of fun in the shallows. Watch. Anton claps her hands and squeezes them together, shooting water from the gap between them with great force. Holy fuck, she's a hydro cannon. Whoa, how'd you do that? This is like a squirt gun. Come here, I'll show you. Once you find this, you can pretend to have a squirt time anytime, even in the bath. Tony's so full of energy, I'm starting to get into it too. Since we're here, I should teach him some fun things to do in the water. Oh, this is a really nice pool. Man, I wish I brought a swimsuit. I love swimming. It's an honor for all of us to be able to welcome Princess Zita. Our hotel's largest shareholders are the Principality of Elsam and the Bank of Edith, after all. We hope to take this opportunity to enjoy Al Jameer to its fullest. Oh, we're not paying to be here. Oh, well then you can get out.
Wherever you are.
We also have an event based on a film later today in the reception hall on the top floor. In addition to a talk show featuring a famous Z1 racer, there'll also be an advanced screening of a new movie. Whoa. Number tickets are required to attend, so if you're interested, please make your way back here when... Is there gonna be food? Not as such. There'll be free samples of a new energy... Wait, it's the same event we already saw in the city? Pass. These two are coming off meaner than they intended, I think. Well, if we have time to look around anyway, we should go. An event for a new film will be held later in the reception hall on the top floor. There are no plans to serve food. We do look forward to your next visit.
Come out wherever you are.
Let's do a search.
Oh, suppose in a future wherein we join forces to govern the region, the first order of business would be to... I know Voss and Elsam are like allies, but it'd be nice if their populations get along too. What could we do to make that happen? I'm sure it would help trade become more active. Ah, yes, I mean, I know we can't say much about each other yet. Perhaps the two of us, for example, could travel and observe different countries. That's a great idea. My father's been a bit overprotective lately, so I'd love to set off without him for a change. Yes, Kalia and I finally some time alone together. You guys are like 9 or something. It's the same for me. Say, when you and I tour the continent, I'm stammering when it truly counts. Just how will she react? Yes, there are so many countries I'd love to study. Jeez, why are you so nervous? You can be so adorable.
Shall we search?
Bad RNG. We ferry the Airbonian Empire? I'm also curious with the Burrow Kingdom to the west. What do you think? You should definitely come up with a concrete plan for the sake of my future, too. I think I still haven't gotten the hint, but a trip with just Kalia now is tempting. Once again, you guys are 9. Plenty of chances for me to share my feelings in the future.
Let's do a search.
When? Even though the region is called the Central East at large, there are many different cultures and features therein. It's a truly diverse region. There's international powerhouses like Elsheim, nomads on the frontier, mountain tribes, and even coastal cities like Valis. Each one has its own ingredients and cooking techniques, giving a real sense of how intricate their cultures are.
Let's do a search.
Patriarch Bashir, your son appears to be talking to Kalia. Now that you mention it, they've always seemed closer. Recently, they've been much more involved. Hope you're not implying that you have an ulterior motive, Dahar. I could say the same about you. Aren't you having your son hit on Kalia, are you? I'm not sure if you're a doting father or a fool. I do wonder what Munt is actually thinking. It's unthinkable. How could Kalia possibly have feelings for him? Let's call a truce for the time being. Before anything else, we need to assess the situation. We're in accord, then. It's also a matter of business, so I expect we'll be in contact for a while, Dahar. You get it, don't you? First, we must check on the situation, and then... Ah, yes, already. For my part, I must confirm my son's true intentions. They certainly seem close, but how do they feel about each other? It's unthinkable. I absolutely don't want to do anything that'll make Kalia sad. I like that, at least.
Mario! Zita! Everyone!
She forgot the others' names, didn't she?
Nice to see you again. We're just dropping by to say hello.
Oh, it's you two.
It's me, Mild-Mannered Man, or MMM for short.
Miss Rain, how wonderful to see you again, and so soon after saying our farewells.
Kevin, Rufus, we must have just missed each other at the mom, huh?
Oh yeah, no, because we saw you there, but they didn't see you there.
Probably, yeah. We've been on a pretty tight schedule lately.
Yeah.
Promise we meant to say hi, but we had a reservation to get to. For lunch, you see.
Kevin.
I believe introductions are in order, Your Highness. It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
Maybe Kevin just seemed like a better line when I was having to read all his lines. Maybe that's what it was.
Likewise. I'm Zita Osval, daughter of Grand Prince Salmon of Elsheim. And this is my bodyguard, Najee Berka.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Father Kevin, Sir Rufus. Or perhaps you would prefer I call you Sir A.
Now.
Looks like the jig is up. I'd be more surprised if it wasn't. Rufus is fine, thank you. Did you know it's actually one of the most common names in the Empire? Again, it's a pleasure, Your Highness. It's not every day a simple wanderer like myself has the opportunity to meet royalty after all. You know, actually, this is a different Rufus. Not actually the Rufus from the Cold Steel games. I'm Kevin Graham of the Septian Church. Nice to meet you. By the way, I believe my colleague Celeste was in your care a few months ago.
I beg to differ. We were almost certainly in her care. I'm Leslie Lam, a director affiliated with Kowloon Pictures.
So, Father Kevin and Rufus, was it? You know, it's strange. I've never actually met a Rufus. I've been to the Empire many times. I suppose you must be Lapis Rosenberg. You've heard of me? Well, yes, only through the grapevine. You see, as a director, I often find myself researching current events, mostly to gather ideas for my next film, of course. Once I find myself with enough inspiration, all the fragments of information I've collected, well, I craft them into a story. There's no need to worry about me leaking anything confidential to the general public, however. Everything's a product of my imagination, after all. Yeah, sure, every fucking random civilian knows everything that ever happened, ever. Alright, then. It's an honor to hear we contributed to your creations. And you're something else. A little too sharp for your average Joe, if you ask me. So, I'm assuming you know my title, then? No, I've never heard of you. Actually, no, I think I did hear about something you did, but I heard it was pretty skippable. So I didn't bother. Am I the only one not following? Wait, Rufus, where have I heard that name?
Oh? Talk about a crowd.
Oh. There you are. Glad to see you're well, Miss Lou. You're... Ashin! Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since the festival. Well, were you there when she killed us? Oh, man.
Yeah. Long time no see, Swin. Nadia.
Because I don't actually really know if you guys would have ever met. I don't ever really... I mean, I guess she just kind of pops up randomly, but... I don't remember a direct interaction.
And I suppose it's been a while since I've seen you three as well. Wait a sec. Are you Lapis? No way! You're even cuter than I thought you'd be!
Ah! I know, right? When is she? Yes, a weirdo. A very sad individual. Deeply, deeply broken. Daughter of the Liu family? Yeah. The same family who served as the White Orchid Dragon's benefactor, I assume. Well, before he split off to start his own. Much like me. Interesting. So you're saying this new project of yours is a collaboration between Kowloon Pictures and the Principality of Elsheim? That's correct, and the film currently being promoted, Perfect Driver Zero, Perfect Snore Zero. And that's a Director Gotti film, funded by Elsheim as well, alongside Vegas Films, of course. It's quite the masterpiece, apparently. That's actually part of why I called this meeting. Not exactly keen on being left in the dust, you know? Well, whatever the reason, it's always an honor to work with such celebrated studios. And to think the production is being headed by the great director Lamb. You know, I'm just the biggest fan of Wolves Requiem. Wait, is that the good one or no? Wolves Requiem's the one that's good, right? It's the... What was the collab? Is it Golden Requiem? You made Wolves Requiem? Gotta admit, that was a pretty good flick. Can definitely see how it took the Leon d'Or. Okay, so that is the good one. Right, and Nina was the perfect choice for the main character. She was so cute. So maybe Ashin appreciates Kino. Ah, well, I'm happy to hear it's caught your interest. We're gonna cover the entire pre-production process, by the way. And hopefully once I'm done, I'll be able to turn it into an editorial. Bet that'll make for an interesting read. Oh yeah, I didn't read my fucking newspaper! I actually meant to read it early this time. And then I completely forgot. I assume it'll be in the Tyro Times, yes? Do you happen to have any idea when it'll be published? Well, this is off the record, but around... Anyhow, nobody gives a fuck about me. Dingo! Nobody respects me. I don't even know what the hell's going on. They're all talking in fucking references, and even the damn director knows more than me for some reason. It doesn't make any sense. This is quite the fascinating collection of faces. Though it looks to me like you five haven't been traveling together for a while now. Hanging out in the desert with a priest, though, Nadia. Call me crazy. That's not exactly my idea of a fun-filled vacay. I know, and the heat out here is the worst, too. Well, it gets an A in my book. The food's been amazing so far. Would you try not blowing on my mirror, please? My wallet's looking a little worse for wear lately. Oh, then allow today to be my treat. And of course, if there's anything else you need assistance with, please don't hesitate to ask. We're looking to murder one of the most influential people on the continent. You okay with that? I consider our meeting today to be a stroke of fate. We're not really trying to kill her. We're just gonna give her a stern talking to, probably. Oh, wait, didn't the city have a mark on? Never mind. As for me, I'd like to repay my debt to you all for helping me on the Myth Island. I guess Swin and Naughty were there, because I was like, what the hell are you talking about? If you're in need of info, I'm willing to provide whatever I know. So he says. Well, what do you plan to do, Father Kevin? They've really got us backed against a cliff here, and I think our only real choice is to jump. Is it me or is Naj giving us the stink eye? Oh yeah, she do be mad. It's okay, we can take her pretty easily. Doesn't matter, if we want answers, we can't let ourselves be intimidated. That's right, so let the interrogation commence. Well, Franco, I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure you've all figured out by now, I'm here on some official church business at the moment, and these four have been lending me a hand. Stays between us, but I've been tasked with looking into something for Her Holiness. And know that if you refuse to help me, you will be excommunicated and sent to Gehenna. So if you value your eternal lasting soul, then, well... Her Holiness, you mean... Holiness Ortiz II. Must be quite the job you're on. It is, yeah, but see, as I can't exactly let you guys in on any of the details, I'm afraid I got to turn down the offers of assistance. Instead, though, think you don't mind answering some questions for us? That's... Please, ask us anything. Alright. Account number for the royal family's, bank vault. That'll do. That'll do. Doesn't have to be all their money, just most of it. I'd be happy to answer as long as these questions aren't about insider info on Hayway, of course. Much obliged. In that case, we're doing everything we know already. I should probably start by asking about... I mean, while they're in Tharbad seems kind of direct, but the film... I mean, ostensibly, aren't they here for the film? Again, they basically just say that? So I get... I mean, I feel like maybe this feels like too vague. But I mean, they basically just said, hey, we're here for the film stuff. So saying, well, guys, why are you here? It just feels kind of weird. But this one also feels a little weird because it's like beating around the bush too much. It's like you're not beating the bush, you're like just kind of like in the same room as the bush. Well, as long as everything's off the record. I'll leave the choice to you, Director Lamb. Well, I suppose I don't mind sharing a few details. The premise is a bit out there, though, I'll admit, but I don't think any other studio but Kowloon Pictures would do it justice. Put it simply, it's going to be a near-future sci-fi film. Allow me to set the scene. Year 1299 in the Septian calendar. Society has fallen into stagnation. Humanity is on the brink of extinction. Strong start. Yeah, kind of spooky, too. Sci-fi, short for science fiction, right? I don't know why that's really funny. So you mean to proceed with a dystopian tale of yours? Of course. Due to an unfortunate chain of events, humanity has not only lost civilization, but the favor of the goddess as well. It's a story about the bonds forged between humans as they try desperately to survive in a cold, cruel world, a world dominated by monsters. And well, that's about the gist of it. Sounds amazing! Is there gonna be any romance? Monsters, huh? That has some killer action scenes. Sounds like you're trying to pioneer an entirely new genre here. Though I'd expect nothing less than the great director Lamb. I know the story's a bit bleak, but Kowloon Pictures thinks it'll be our biggest hit yet. And if we shoot in the deserts of Tharbad, the visual realism of it all will make everything that much more impactful. He does like to film in the northern region of the Ishgal Mountains, where the Kruger village is. We've actually already begun negotiations with their representatives to do so. Ooh, isn't that where Fairy's from? I assume the east must be on your list of potential shooting locations as well then. Yeah, it kinda fucking sucks, so it'll be perfect. No, actually, while the rails do extend partway through the region, it's unfortunately much too dangerous to use a shooting location. Professor Hampton also warned us against doing so due to the unstable weather conditions. Okay, there we go. Yeah, life sounds really rough out there. Apparently all their crops keep withering because it's always cloudy. And heck, all those rando tornadoes surrounded by lightning. And don't even get me started on the ghouls and the gremlins and the goblins. Well, I do imagine the footage I could capture would be phenomenal. I'm afraid I'm not so willing to sacrifice my cast and crew. I could certainly see Director Gotti brute forcing it, however, if there's a will, there's a way. From what I've heard about the man, that sounds about right. And so you've ever had the pleasure of hosting him as a director, though. The elders wouldn't take too kindly to his tastes. Well, I think Vegas film suits him just fine. He did a simply phenomenal job at delivering on his directorial intents. I'm actually hoping that he'll be able to adapt one of my favorite books someday. You ever heard of 3 and 9? Oh, fuck you. Oh, I'd love to see that. I mean, me too. 3 and 9 is peak. Don't think there's much in that one Gotti can run with, honestly. Well, the blood and the gore. That's not true. I mean, the heroine's sexy and cute. Audiences love her. Take it down a notch, Nadia. The characters are 12 and 14, though, are they not? I imagine that would create an issue for the ratings board. Not in this universe. Oh, I agree, which is why I suggest he raise their ages, even flip their genders. Okay. Raising their ages. That's cool. I'm fine with that. And perhaps he can even give the main antagonist tentacles. I don't know about that part. Tentacles? S is a girl, being subjected to all sorts of naughty things. Is it just me, or is it getting kind of warm in here? Naughty things? Okay, that's about enough about that. Oh, so never mind. It doesn't actually matter what I fucking pick. We just went over while we're here. Well, are you implying we're here for something other than this meeting? Well, not necessarily. Just had a hunch is all. I happened to hear a bit of gossip through the... Or maybe I was supposed to pick that one and that was just a weird rabbit trail. Because, I mean, the fact that it immediately made them skeptical makes me feel like it's the wrong thing to pick, but... I happened to hear a bit of gossip through the guild recently. About last year's film festival, in fact. Someone requested they reopen their investigation on it. They wanted to know what really caused the chaos. We read of what happened in Van's case files. There was a drug making the rounds, right? We also learned that not only were Mario and Director Lamb in attendance, but so were Prince Sharid and his bodyguard. And considering the nature of the drugs involved, I can't say I'm particularly surprised the daughter of Hay would be interested in the matter. Okay, fine, you got us. The real reason we've gathered here is to investigate the drug Almada was peddling. I knew it. Were you the ones who asked the guild to reopen their investigation? That's correct, yes. I also have a particularly close relationship with the Bracers, you see. Allow me to explain. In September of last year, we launched our own investigation into the drug. Not only did we manage to identify the manufacturers of said drug, but its key component as well. Ah, it's me. I'm evil. In the end, they discovered that it was a type of agave plant, but no other specimens were found outside that one. However, seeing as Almada clearly had vast quantities of the drug, it was determined they likely had a production center somewhere. Given my knowledge of film noir, Her Highness and Miss Lou thought I might have a few ideas on the matter. That makes no fucking sense. That makes literally zero sense. You're lying. You're apparently important. I never claimed to be an expert on illegal substances, but I do know the cultivation of agave has been outlawed all across Samaria. However, if someone wished to grow it regardless, they would need to do so in an arid climate, like the deserts of the Central East. And so, I mean, I guess we were supposed to pick this one, but... I don't know if it was actually like an SP thing, but I mean, I like the other conversation, so... I don't know about the tentacles part. I don't necessarily think you need to subject. They already got to go through the mental trauma. You don't got to sexually torment them too. That'd be a little. I don't know. At least you're aging them up. At least she's got that much sense. Or even the Eastern Wastelands. Although Professor Hamilton deemed that particular possibility unlikely. Now, granted, they'd be aged up to like, you know, probably 17, so still pretty icky, but. In order to aid its growth, the plan is said to extract a special compound from septium. And given the region is largely barren at present, makes sense. You think maybe Almada got rid of all the places they were using to make the drug? You know, to hide the evidence? They don't really seem like a hide the evidence type. If that were the case, he wouldn't be sitting here right now. Yeah, so clarify, we've been informed the drug has made something of a reappearance recently. And in the capital, no less. That's so. Talk about that thing Van dealt with? Those people imitating the DG code. Yeah. Well, apparently they weren't doing any of that stuff of their own volition. Now that I think about it, it sounds almost exactly what happened at the film festival. Both even needed a trigger. Honestly, I don't 100% remember what happened at the film festival, other than they were smoking that shit, and they went crazy. Heard Halo's been pursuing the incident in the capital as well. Okay, so I guess, so maybe that's the way the hypnotic stuff's supposed to work, is that they got the drug. They've been like, if you're on the agave drug, then the thing triggers for you. I guess now that you mention it, I guess that is what happens in the film festivals. They start doing the dance or whatever. And then that causes everyone who's had it to go crazy. And maybe that's why it was like so much worse in the Blacklight district, because maybe more people are on the drug. That makes sense. That kind of answers that question, I suppose, of why only certain people were being, well, because, I mean, there was already the kind of inbuilt explanation of, well, it's only, if you're looking at the screen in a split second, maybe, but it could, if it's also that you're on the drug, would be kind of neat. Even if it is kind of just membranosis. In which case, Ashen's explanation that they're exchanging info in addition to meeting about the movie is sound indeed. Yeah. Man, talk about some serious food for thought. Though, I don't think we're going to be of much help to you. We're looking into something completely different. That's perfectly alright. No big deal. We only ask that you get in touch with us as soon as you hear anything about the agave, okay? We'd be more than happy to reward you for your efforts, of course. Alright, your number's still the same one we got from Aaron? If we're talking about rewards, I'd love a sweet treat from the East. Maybe something rare and unique. Ooh, if you have any skincare products, I'd be more than happy to take them off your hands. Rather than insider info on Hayway, I'd ask for any information you might have on the stock market. Yeah. You gotta fucking work your way back up. Have you people no shame? I mean, she's the one that was born with unimaginable wealth, okay? She should at least share it with her close friends, us. Kindred spirits, I see. Okay, absolutely no reason at all. For no reason at all. We're just a big admirer. What about Hamilton? You like it? Too long? Songs any good? Not any good? I don't know. Our connection to Professor Hamilton, well, for now she's practically our savior. We can't thank her enough for what she's done for us. Truth be told, Longport owes her a lot too. Red Star, the Newtown Project, the Great Spire, none of them would exist without her. The very foundations are built on her accomplishments. Seriously? Ooh, the Great Spire is gorgeous tonight. I saw it when I visited last year. Huh, surprised you even bothered to look. Figured you've been too busy gorging yourself on Mantua. You know the professor's name has come up an awful lot during this conversation. Kinda sounded like you folks have been keeping in contact. You must be, pretty close. I'd like to think so. We first met when I was working on a project as a technical supervisor. It was about 15 years ago now. She was incredibly kind to me, despite her being in a position of authority. If I have any questions, she'd answer them in a heartbeat. As for me, I first met her at a conference in the spring. She was way more friendly than I was expecting her to be, and to this day, she still replies to my orb mails. I'm more grateful to her than you can imagine. See, doesn't think she knows anything about whatever business Hamilton had with Dingo, though. Dingo! I could feel it. You were thinking about Dingo. All that being said, however, I don't think her kindness is limited to us alone. She's shown her penchant for charity to people in places all over the world. Yes, because she's a guilty heretic. She's even kind of Yaya of all people, and he in turn is kind to her. Well, can't say I'm surprised to hear all that. After all, Mr. Picard said the same. By the way, would any of you happen to know where she is at the moment? Also, seriously, I was serious about the stock tips. Unfortunately, no. But I think about it, I believe my brother saw her in Basel. Indeed, he met her on site around noon yesterday, but after that she's believed to have departed the city. I had no idea. Do you think she left for the Space Force base? I don't, actually. She's been avoiding interfering in the space operation out of consideration for her disciples. It's more likely than not that she left to join the festivities in the capital. Sounds like she's really got her hands full. Alright, got a jet! Ooh, I just remembered a question I had. The construction work Professor Hamilton oversaw 20 years ago is why that oasis is so full, right? I was wondering, how exactly did they make that happen? Nice going, Lapis. Honestly, I don't think that question was intentional. Now that you mention it, it was supposed to be a pretty large-scale construction project, right? I've done some research on Tharbad for work recently, but I don't actually remember reading any details on what the construction entailed. I remember being hailed as a matter of great significance at the time, but I don't believe I recall ever hearing more on the subject. When I was younger, I saw a video of the Hail Oasis myself. I was immediately struck by the need to ask my father about it. After all, if the engineering existed to generate vast amounts of water in the desert, then why not use it in other areas of the Central East and the Eastern Waste as well? As my father considers himself a close friend of the professor's, he presented the question to her in turn, and according to her,
the oasis is simply the result of a combination of factors.
That sounds like corporate speak.
In order to have the same happen elsewhere, however, the area would need to meet the same specifications, both geographical and otherwise.
Also, I do like the idea that she would remember the exact quote.
Unfortunately, Your Majesty, I must ask that you not attempt a recreation.
Which, it's like the exact quote as told to her by someone else when she was a kid. She really said that? Do you mind if I write all this down? That is, you cannot print that shit. You can't be like, oh yeah, the princess when she was a little kid asked her dad something, and then her dad said this, and then that's what Hamilton said. That is like incredible levels of hearsay. At least you can't write down the exact quote. You could maybe say that the princess recalled hearing that Hamilton said the oasis was a blah 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 one of a kind. Combination of factors. What a fascinating choice of words. Once again, you can't use that as a quote. Awfully cryptic if you ask me, though I can't imagine she was lying about any of that. I mean, I don't know. To me it sounds unbelievably sus. Now of course we're prepped to think it's sus, but... Alright, see ya.
Well, that was riveting. Can't wait to see that new film of yours, by the way.
Oh, man, Kevin, you used to be better at lying.
Your Highness, everyone, I look forward to working together in the future. I am unsure of how much longer we'll be staying in the city, but if you find yourselves in need of aid, please feel free to visit us at our inn.
I'm afraid we're in much the same position, but I appreciate your offer nonetheless.
Personally, I mean to stick around for a few days, so I'd be more than happy to chat.
I'll probably be busy gathering material, but if anything important comes up, just give me a ring, okay? You guys said you still have the number Aaron gave you, right? Do you want my orb mail too?
Nah.
Yeah, totally.
Nope, don't care. Hard to believe the whole agave ordeal is happening again. Ashen Kevin, everyone? Damn, only Kevin gets called out? What the fuck? Well, in Ashen, but, you know. If you learn anything else about agave, please let me know. You're an interesting lot, so I hope we'll continue to build a good relationship. Nope. Professor visited our nation many times. He didn't have tea with me in the palace. He's always so busy flying all over the place, but I hope she's able to spend time together again someday. Eyes emoji. It seems you're all working towards a goal. I hope it goes well, as long as you don't cause trouble in this region. Damn, she fucking hate us, man. Yes, ma'am, we'll keep that in mind. Talking with all of you has been inspiring. I wonder if I can use our conversation somehow for the near future science fiction movie I'm planning. A lone wandering priest visits a desert to hunt down the secrets of a ruined world, something like that. Don't model the guy after me without my permission, okay? You say that, but you seem pretty flattered to me, Mr. Onion.
So,
Talking with all of you has been inspiring.
Shall we search?
Kinda feel like this all right through us, but at least it got some good leads out of it. Yeah, and you know, I'm actually pretty curious about the new film they were talking about. But the big stuff was what we learned about the agave and everything they told us about Professor Hamilton. Can't help but feel like we're missing the final piece of the puzzle, however. But once we get that, we'll finally have the full picture. What's our next move, Kevin? If that droid's the key to all this, it's probably best we talk to people who are actually there for the film festival. In that case, we should speak with Shahina. I believe she was one of the many who fell under its influence. Actually, she was. Well, according to Van's report anyway, what caused her mania was a mask like a crossbow. Ah, yes, that bullshit. If I had a nickel for every time a plot point from Crossbow was reused, I think I wouldn't need to worry about the stock market anymore. I think Melchior stole that one that was used on Shahina, though. Man, that guy was a real piece of shit. Well, what's done is done, I guess. Anyway, we're off to have a chat with the girls, right? That's the plan. Come on, let's head over to the Cultural District. I think they should be starting rehearsal soon. How exciting! I can't wait to see their performance. I see dots. I didn't realize I could go over here. Were you earlier? Hey, oh, I thought you were a Megisa for a second. The kids are so energetic, even in this heat. Anton there is keeping an eye on Tony. As an old woman, it's quite reassuring. Oh, yes, indeed. For a little cooler, I've been able to frolic in the pool, too. But apparently, you know, can't really... What I'm packing, can't do it around kids, you know what I mean? You're just as lively an old man as I've heard. That reminds me, Wang, don't you run a bathhouse in Longport? You are indeed. The John Yutong is one reason people in the second ward are so healthy. After relaxing your body in piping hot water and steam bath, you can practice martial arts and... Oh my, is it Eastern style? I myself own an authentic Northern style loli. In terms of health effects, nothing beats herbs and vitas. Oh, you think so? In that case, why don't you show me what you got sometime? Took the words right out of my mouth. Let's see if your bathhouse lives up to its reputation. Never imagined to be on tour with someone in the same line of work. As a bathhouse proprietor, getting to enjoy a Central Eastern Hamon has been a stimulating treat. Oh, Angela operates a Northern style bathhouse. I had a hand in a number of businesses in the past, and now I'm focused solely on my bathhouse. Won't let her beat me. Perhaps I should introduce a Far Eastern flair to my establishment. Yellow. I was a bit surprised to see with the daughter of Heiyue Elder. Seemed to be close to the Princess Zita, so I doubt there's any problem from a security standpoint. Still, the fighting power of those guards seems a bit excessive. At least let me provide some hospitality. Nah, man. Najd is... I mean, I don't want to be a hater, because if anything, I mean, she's a pretty minor character. I don't have too much of an opinion on her, but she's kind of cool, I suppose. Fortunately, not very intimidating. But I guess we'll run back over, see what we can learn from the sisters, and then, I mean, eventually, presumably, we're going to go into the desert. Because, you know, there was that whole desert area that we couldn't go through with the sandstorm, and we gotta have some sort of mini dungeon to wrap up the section. Comes straight from the Tyro Times, and that's Squall. We still have our connect. You know, we haven't progressed to the point where we're at the very end, because we could still do our connection events. I was kind of thinking that was gonna be the, like, oh, you're done? Yeah, you just have the final little main story bit, but Come on, hit the Mishi. Yeah, maybe you can learn to dance like that, Lapis, and give us a new shard command boost thing. Wow, the way the human body can move is so fascinating. You two are amazing. No kidding, never seen LP so sucked in by something that wasn't food. Well, you guys danced a bit back during the festival. You've really improved since then. It was literally the same dance.
Not all that impressive. Though we did work pretty hard on that last set you saw.
I mean, it may have been, I'm pretty sure it was the same dance. It may have been slightly different. I don't know.
The choreography was inspired by the events of last year, actually.
Was it? Our crowd's influence then. It was good though. Had a real fire to it. Could tell you added your own personal flair to the moves though, even though you're doing the same dance. Central Eastern dance may not be very well known in the Empire, but I have a feeling it's only a matter of time and you two are worldwide sensations. I'll have you know I used to be something of a worldwide sensation myself. Much like Arc-en-Ciel at the moment, perhaps even Heimdall will ask you to perform on their stage. Actually, they've received offers to do stuff like that already. Before they can even consider going worldwide, they still have to do a tour of the Republic, starting with the Rashian Opera House. That's right, the monster itself. Though I imagine gaining the adoration of such a traditional city might prove to be a bit of a challenge for us. Yeah, they're gonna kill you. It's sure to make our success taste all the sweeter. Yeah, that's the spirit. I'd love to support you guys somehow, but I think any donations we make will have to be pretty, well, modest. Yeah, Rufus kind of ran out of money recently. No matter, that just means our dear sponsor here will have to foot the bill. When are you gonna pay me back? This is coming out of my pocket, you know? It's the church's money, and the church gets money from all of us. So in a way, your money is my money, comrade. It's fine, don't worry, it's the thought that counts. Alright, just remember, you had some questions for us, didn't you? Was there something you forgot to ask earlier? Oh yes, I actually had a few questions of my own for them, but I can give you guys some privacy if you want. You may as well let her stay, right? Yeah, sure, whatever, who cares? Fine by me. Anyway, sorry, Shahina. This is sort of a weird question, but you'll get used to it. Would you two happen to be personally acquainted with Professor Hamilton? I see, so due to the incident that happened during last year's film festival, Professor decided to visit Tharbad not only to investigate the drug involved, but to shut down the associated refining facility as well. Wow. You said the professor came 2 weeks after the festival? I never realized. Yeah, even though I never actually took the drug myself. That mask really messed with my head for a while, or rather... I guess it was like all the dark thoughts I had, the ones locked deep inside my heart, were just suddenly unleashed, and then for some reason I was able to fight on the same level as Yin. Even though I'm just a regular dancer, it didn't make any fucking sense. Hina... That's all in the past now, Shahina. And anything that happens from here onward is something we'll deal with. It's like, seriously, think about it. So the masks, like, power you up so much that a regular person was able to fight on the level of a super duper special warrior. Yet, when, like, one of the strongest people in the Empire got the mask on, they didn't get powered up at all. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't exactly know what you're talking about, Shahina, but no matter what, we'll always have each other. Tara. Despite the fact that the source of Shahina's issue wasn't the drug, as she said, there was concern she'd been affected in other ways. The professor decided to go out of her way to pay us a visit, just to make sure Shahina didn't have any lingering health problems. I really couldn't be more grateful to her, honestly. She lifted a huge weight off my shoulders. She put me through some tests to determine if anything was wrong with me, and thankfully there wasn't. But it was only once the professor gave me all the clear that I felt like I could relax. Seriously, I practically collapsed in relief. wanted to express gratitude by repaying her somehow, but she turned down everything I offered. But because the inns happened to be full, she ended up having to spend the night with us. It was kind of crazy. I mean, the Professor Hamilton, the one in all the history books, he was in our house cooking a traditional Central Eastern dish for us. She whipped up a treat from Basel, too. Do you happen to have the treat still? Ooh, what'd she make? I knew it was coming, and yet... Okay, but what did she make? Let me guess. Western pastries known as noose torts. Those things must be evil, man. They've got evil energy. She's just there maliciously baking heretical cakes. Traditional Eastern croquettes called falafel, or noose torts and croquettes with machete. They were so delicious that Hina actually asked the professor for seconds. Hey, you promised you'd never bring that up again, Sahara, and you were eating seconds too anyway. Why would she never bring up that you asked for more good food? I mean, I get you're a dancer, but like... It all sounds so tasty, I'm starving. You just had a parfait. Whatever. At least you're consistent. At any rate, it sounds like the professor is quite skilled in the culinary arts. I've heard her pupils mention similar stories in the past. He's talking about Catcher, huh? He's told me a few stories about her cooking, too. You know, after you two mentioned the professor at your house earlier, the question of how you all knew each other just wouldn't stop nagging at me. Thanks for filling in all the gaps, you two. It's, honestly, that woman's done a heck of a lot for so many, even the church. Seriously, 11 years ago. Saved. What happened 11 years ago? Well, thanks to our resident reeking leak, looks like we're finally able to uncover our missing link. Which means we've got a new point of interest to explore, don't we? Alright, so the professor came to Tharbad to investigate a drug refining facility. If we can find where that is, we might also lead us to where she was in that memory we saw. Last year, Archive Solutions broke into a facility that was refining agave components into drugs. It was located underneath Vegas Films, apparently. And that's where we're headed next. I really thought we were going to go into the desert. You sure taught these kids well, Rufus. Barely even had to use my brain for this one. I did nothing of the sort, I'm afraid. The credit for their mental acuity lies with them and them alone. At any rate, I heard the refining facility was on Vegas Film's 5th basement level. It said it had been cordoned off by the authorities. Perhaps we'd like to ask them about the matter. Yeah, let's get going.
That was...
Holy fuck. Well, we can do... We'll do this. We probably won't have much time afterwards, but... Magnificent. Not only have I come to understand the depths of Central Eastern dance and the influence of its origins, I have also discovered that those two are no mere dancers. How do I put it? Perhaps they best exemplify the act of putting one's soul into their art? In a sense, it's not unlike how my father and I put our feelings into our cooking. I do like that this section feels like it had a bit more main plot with Kevin friends. Like, it feels a bit beefier than the initial section. I don't remember exactly... Because we were only with Kevin for 5 or 6 videos, I think? In the first time? Because I know part 41 was the last one we were with, and even that was like a... You know, half that video was Reen. Let me see, let me look. Okay, we started with Kev on part 35. We did 6 videos basically with them, and I think we've already done 6, and we haven't even done the main plot, so a little bit longer. I can feel the passion, the soul that those girls put in their dance. The feelings that have been passed down throughout the generations could even be said to have a life of their own. It was magnificent.
So sleepy.
Honestly, kind of the same, but I would like to finish the Kev section. How fresh. I ran out of hard drive space. That's the one downside to having such a big backlog, is that the Horizon playthrough is like almost 2 terabytes, so... How fresh. So this is the essence of Central Eastern Dance, but I had a good number of stuff I could delete. So we got us a couple hundred more gigs to work with. This is the essence of Central Eastern Dance. I've seen a few flashy plays myself, but they failed to express themselves quite like this performance. In any case, Mason seems happy, and I'm glad we got to see it together.
All right,
Let's move.
Because, I mean, the backlog is... Part 45 went up today, and this is 92, so... like a 45 video backlog. And I'll probably record a couple videos tomorrow. That's all I'll be able to do, but... It's not the longest backlog I've ever had for a series, but it's actually pretty close. Like, maybe total hour-wise. Because number of parts, I think I had like maybe 50-ish at one point for the Persona 4 Let's Play. I know it had a really long backlog. I can't remember exactly. And then the Virtue's Last Reward Let's Play was like fully pre-recorded in advance. Just because it was like one of those things where it was a game, like, you know, I started that Let's Play and then I didn't record it for a really long time. I was like, I don't think I'm actually going to do this after all. But then my hand got fucked up and literally the only thing I could play was like something that only involved clicking. I mean, I've told that story a few times, but now that I'm thinking about it, something bothers me about the conversation we had at the hotel last year. It's about last year's incident. Mario, something wrong? Oh, nothing. Don't worry. I was just spacing out because of the heat. Wait, not that upcoming performance we were talking about.
So sleepy.
Stop saying that, Nadia. You're gonna make me sleepy. Hey, guys, you aren't done investigating yet, right? As a reporter, I'm all in favor of sussing out the truth. Whether or not I'm allowed to write an article about it is a different story.
Now then.
Oh gosh, she's gonna follow us and get kidnapped again. President Hamilton has always been really kind to my sister and me. We actually had a chance to speak with her in the capital a couple days ago before we came home to Tharbad. I see. Did she say where she was headed or anything? Anything about her weaknesses? If I remember right, I think she said something about Basil. And her weakness is basil, actually. Kind of funny. You must have a hard time trying to run all over the place like that. You wouldn't think she was an old woman at all. Yeah, she's a damn eldritch creature. I hope we can offer her some hospitality whenever she stops out Tharbad again. I'm curious what the route you took, but that was 2 days ago. Well, let's set that aside for the moment.
Can we go yet?
Nadia! Chill! Hamilton has always been really kind to my sister and me. You runs around so much you forget about her age. She's still an old woman. I hope she'll be careful with her health. Nah, built different. Yeah! I can't believe I got to see her new choreography up close. I feel like my entire soul was enveloped by her elegance, her charm, both unique to her Central Eastern dance. Surely I was at the thought about it because I was meant to see it. You know, honestly, I guess that maybe explains why she's so obsessed with Van, because she's never interacted with a normal dude before. Because, I mean, most of the people she would have interacted with are people like this fucker. I mean, the kind of guys who go to the strip club. I can't believe I got to see their new dance up close. I've always wanted to dance with them, but even just watching is so exciting. I guess when you get popular, even old guys like him come to see you perform. He's not a pervert or anything, right? Now, he would say no, but the answer is yes. Now, in theory, I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as he never interacts with it directly.
If the launch succeeds, what comes next?
Hello there, we've got a space program merchandise for sale. According to the government, the program is nearly at its climax.
How can I help you?
Bobley
Please
be
come
like,
along.
I'm nearly at my climax. Well, that was our scene, wasn't it? Gosh, just being honest, your eyes are fixated on the stage the whole time. Especially during Sarah's closing act. Shut up, I wasn't that entranced. As expected, it's different from a ballet in terms of expression. Still found it deeply moving. Now I know it really is true you convey emotions with more than only the meticulous movements of the body. Like ballet, there isn't necessarily a fixed story or motif, and yet the dance alone conveys so much. Yeah, it explains that she can get down on it, scrub the ground on it. I just don't know how to describe it. The way she moves is simply amazing. You never get tired of watching her. How much you have to practice to be able to dance like that? The customers on our sightseeing tour were completely satisfied, all thanks to Sarah and Shihina. Maybe they're doing a performance to celebrate their homecoming. Might be tough to get tickets. If I negotiate now, I can get preferential treatment. We weren't able to do the sand dune tour today, but I'm glad the customers got to see that at least. Tara and Jahina's dancing really does have the power to draw people in. As their childhood friend, I can't help but be proud of them. Are you their childhood friend?
Can we go yet?
I mean, maybe... I guess Jahina's kind of young. Seem a little young to be Sara's childhood friend. You know, they brought me a souvenir from the capital yesterday. They gave me a cool t-shirt. That was fantastic dancing, wasn't it? It's been a long time since I've seen a Central Easterner dance, but that one felt especially amazing. I'm with you, it was magnificent, even to the people who study music like us. Not to change the subject, Nelly, but do you have any interest in accessories? Well, I guess I like them as much as the next person. What do you think about a ring? Is that so? Then I've made up my mind. Central Eastern dance sure is wonderful. I hear those sisters have been appearing in movies and media lately. Could also be commended for continuing to value an ancient art form. Back when I was little, I used to watch Central Eastern dance in my hometown every now and again. I'm an aspiring singer. Those performances sparked my interest in music. Such beautiful dancing. It was different from anything I've seen in Erasion. When I see art like that, it really makes me realize how small my world is. Indeed, I need to shift my focus and consider a greater variety of experiences. My, what a wonderful dance. I can see why they're so popular. The fact that my husband didn't show up by the time that performance started didn't escape my notice, though. Tell me he's not going gambling after all. What do you think of all the traditional dance of the Central East? Maybe you've already heard of Sara and Jahina, since they feel like doing more than just dance. They've even appeared in movies. My first time seeing them dance live, I couldn't help but be transfixed. Right, everybody? You mentioned the husband, but the husband was somebody different. The husband was the antique guy. He back at the...
It's like we've entered a new era.
He back at the thing, man? He's still a rambling, gambling man? There you go. Couldn't remember if we talked to the officer lady or not, but... Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna check and see if Gambling Man says anything new. Or if anyone over here does. Doesn't say he does, but they referenced him having seen the thing. Right? Because, I mean, you are the husband. Keep it a secret, here I am. Sussy. Mighty sussy. Now, I'm going to take a big sip of the sauce. We're going to read our newspaper and we're going to call it. Sound good? Sound like a plan, gang? Alright, children. First things first.
How about a shard search?
How about a shard search? Nobody knows how to read a book. Right. Alrighty. Relationship between the Republic and Elsheim holds strong in the new era. The Principality of Elsheim is compliant with the Republic's request for Project Startaker, including enacting flight restrictions south of the Ishgal Mountains. In fact, the project's steady progress may well be owed to their tight relations with Elsheim. Principalities Prince Sharid and Princess Zita are scheduled to appear as representatives of Elsheim at a ceremony in Edith tomorrow. The Republic has received many a boon from its long-standing relationship with Elsheim, its cooperation with the space program being one of them. Similarly, they have given us innumerable cultural imports and intelligence through trade in the past. After the Orbital Revolution, the top-grade septium produced on Elsheim was of considerable value, and have always done business exchanges with countries in the eastern and central eastern parts of the continent. The friendship between the Principality of Elsheim and Calvert dates back to the time of the Old Kingdom. Back then, the royal families of the two countries engaged in trade, and now there are a bevy of commercial transactions and other such dealings between the citizens. And after the democratic government was established after the revolution, Elsheim recognized the new administration, cultivating a budding relationship that remains strong today. In this new era where the stars are within humanity's reach, we hope both countries continue to work hand in hand for a better, brighter tomorrow. Z1 stars and Central Eastern dancer duo arrive in Tharbad. In case you weren't aware, several celebrities have come to Tharbad. First of the Z1 racing superstars, Maxim and Aslan, are here for an event promoting the new Vegas Films production, Perfect Driver Zero, and the energy drink Maximum Energy. As a result, Z1 fans have flocked to Tharbad, and the excitement is in the air is palpably electric. Aslan in particular is quite popular among those in Tharbad due to his Central Eastern heritage, and the citizens have welcomed him with open arms and great cheer. Both races competed in an exhibition race in the capital last night, and the fact that Aslan finally claimed victory over the four-time champion has got everyone talking. This is just one more reason the newest racing superstar has garnered so much attention of late. Speaking of superstars, our very own Sarah Etcher and Shahina Etcher, who have often gave dancing performances in the cultural district, have returned to Tharbad. Since gaining a foothold in the entertainment industry through the film festival last year, the Etcher sisters have been exceptionally busy with their appearances in film, various tours, and homecoming performances in their Central Eastern hometown, taking up much of their time. But now they found their way back to Tharbad and are putting on shows in the cultural district, as they did in the past. Why not come see the place where it all began for the legendary duo and see them put on a dance for the ages? I don't know if they're legendary yet. They're starting to be popular. City Council conflicted over optimal utilization of Oasis. Regarding our city's abundant water source restored through irrigation work 20 years ago, Tharbad Diet members are discussing potential broader applications for matters in the future, but opinions are currently split on the matter. Diet members who underscore the importance of Tharbad's development as a tourist city have proposed opening the Oasis to the public for leisure activities like water sports, and others are lobbying for the development of large-scale fruit farms by utilizing water resources for irrigation. On the other hand, conservatives with a base of supporters in the cultural district are opposed to such commercial uses, favoring the preservation of the environment and the conservation of water resources for the future. As of now, no agreement nor compromise has been reached, but the City Council is considering holding a public vote. Hell yeah, brother. We love a plebiscite. Sometimes. As long as they make the right decisions. But alright, so we'll head over to Vegas Films next time, because I think we're a good bit over time. I think we're like 50-ish minutes when the recording cut off, but I'll talk to you real quick.
Step right up.
This event's been a big success. Try some Maximum Energy, being sure to catch Perfect Driver Zero in theaters too. Because if you miss it, then you'll be a zero.
Having fun?
Yeah, I suppose.
What kind of thing even possible?
What could the goddess be up there? What if we pierce the heavens and the goddess strikes us down? Just like back in the day when the ancient Sumerians got too close to the sun and then they got sent back to zero. And you know, they worshipped Adios too, and it didn't help them. Alrighty, I'm Extra Cheesy 87, stay tuned for the next part, and bye guys.